Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be playing a very special fan project called Project Eden's Garden. Now, I have been following this project for an extremely long time, and I even played the prologue quite a bit ago. However, as of today, which is December 20th, 2024, Chapter 1 of Project Eden's Garden has officially released, and today we're going to be playing it. However, we will be playing through the prologue first, just as like a refresher, as getting a little bit of a recap, and then we'll be playing all of Chapter 1 completely all the way through. And before we get into the game, to the Project Eden's Gardens team, I'm not just saying this because I'm playing your game on my channel. I really do mean when I say this. This is one of the most polished and well put together Danganronpa fan projects I have ever seen on this planet. So I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to you guys for creating such an amazing game and such an amazing product. And thank you all so much for being so dedicated to this product as well. And you know, I really hope that this launch day for you is everything you were hoping for and more. And I really hope that this chapter was everything that I was hoping for and more. So without further ado, I and my trusty Monokuma sidekick on the side of me are going to get right into this game. Stay tuned. Mark had returned to his position by the equipment. Hey, Desmond and Eloise told me you plan to investigate Wolfgang's dorm. Grace isn't guarding it anymore, so you can go inside now. Let me guess, you don't want to investigate.
It's nothing.
I just came here to make sure my interface wasn't damaged. This investigation could spell the difference between life and death, yet his priority was with his stupid music equipment. Don't you think it looks suspicious, what you're doing?
What?
I heard people are already giving Grace a side-eye for being uncooperative. What might they say if they find out you've ditched the investigation? Hold on! Jack called out from the other side of the room. Can't you see Broski isn't feeling well? Give the guy some space. I don't care. I'm working on a time limit. Who are you to talk anyway? Judging by the look on Broski's face whenever you guys are together, out of everyone here, I think you'd know the least about personal space. No way. Sure, Mark might not talk the whole lot, but if he wasn't having fun, do you really think we'd be hanging out so much?
Always stick together.
Come on, Broski, back me up here. Time. What time did the murder happen? 9:35 a.m.? Check this. He pointed to a small digital clock at the top of the music pad.
That's...
This is the time of the murder. It was like this when I came back here. I think the clock got screwed over by the blackout, so now it's frozen on whatever it was displaying before it lost power. Then that confirms my suspicions. The blackout and, by association, the destruction of the generator occurred at the same time of Wolfgang's murder.
My man.
Nice going, bro. You hit the jackpot. Bet it's because I was here with you, huh? Sheesh, this is getting hard to watch. May as well skim through the kitchen, just in case. Looking inside the cabinets, there didn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary. Except, this knife block had a knife missing from it. From a kitchen knife to go missing at the same time as a knife floating in the boiler room's water. That can't be a coincidence. I can't hear the word of the generator anymore. Oh, whiteboard. I'm missing the whiteboard. Cassidy had clearly spent a lot of time doodling this. She must be upset it didn't even get to finish a single round. The first time people have a get-together and they're interrupted by a murder. Thinking back on it, the game tournament and the murder happened really close to each other. The former began at 9 a.m., while the latter occurred at 9:35 a.m. That's within the same hour. Taking another look at the whiteboard. Yeah, I can see why the killer chose to attack so soon. 8 potential witnesses, all situated in one place, too preoccupied with video games to notice the world around them. There couldn't be a more perfect time to strike. Oh my, would you look at the time? I dare say we ought to get this trial started soon. How does 20 minutes from now sound? Please continue to investigate until then. See you later. There's only 20 minutes until the trial?
Hang on.
Damon. Jeez, how does she keep scaring me? The investigation is almost over. We need to find the other three and hear their testimonies.
That's...
The other three?
As I was saying...
Toshiko, Ingrid, and Diana.
Please.
Alright, calm down. Desmond said they were in the courtyard,
I'm
right?
talking.
And Diana's in the laundry room. Then let's talk to Diana first, since the laundry room is in the same building. In the meantime, don't panic, okay?
Can't you see?
I'm not panicking. As she said that, she motioned me to follow her over to the door. Eva might deny it, but the anxiety which has been bubbling up inside her has very clearly started to boil over. Although with how feisty my own heart has been beating, or with how fast my own heart has been beating, I guess she's not alone. Oh my god. Okay, we have 20 minutes to do this. It would be crazy if like a 20-minute timer like genuinely popped up. This can't be happening. Diana was standing with her back pressed up against the wall, arms wrapped around herself in a tight embrace. She's even in a worse shape than before. Diana, I need to ask you a question. Please, give me a moment. It's been kind of tough.
No.
The investigation is going to end really soon. We can't wait. Okay, sorry. Where were you during the blackout? Oh. The blackout, right before the body was discovered. I was in my room, alone, doing my makeup. You don't have any makeup on, though. I was experimenting with new combinations, so I wiped it all off already.
I see.
So you were alone in your room the entire morning. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling up to it.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm feeling a little sick all of a sudden. Do you mind if I go back to my dorm? I've asked all the questions I wanted to. Thanks. Oh, Diana, you're... Oh, that's mad suspicious, girl. Diana, you killed him.
So...
Do you think she was acting weird at all?
That's...
No weirder than the others. Anyway, since Diana gave a testimony, I can cross her off my list for now, which means the only people I need to speak to...
Where?
I hope Ingrid and Toshiko are still in the courtyard. We won't know until we see for ourselves. Let's go before the investigation ends. Toshiko and Ingrid have retreated under the bandstand at the center of the courtyard. The larger girl was comforting the smaller girl, who'd completely hidden her face behind her fan.
Hello?
Hey, have either of you been investigating? Investigating? Toshiko lowered the fan to reveal a pair of puffy eyes. I don't know. What are you expecting me to do?
Seriously?
To look for clues.
Impossible!
How am I meant to do that? It's not like I had to solve a murder before, you know. My hands have been a bit full, so no luck finding any clues. Can see why.
Moving on.
Okay, well, did you at least notice anything suspicious this morning? It could be a person acting odd, or a strange sound. That's what most real-life testimonies talk about anyway.
This through.
A person acting odd? Maybe not at the time, but looking back, it definitely seems a little strange. Do you want to tell him, Toshiko? Okay, fine. This morning, I saw Wolfgang. When did you see him? In the dorm hallway, on the way back from the pharmacy. Dorm hallway? Just as I was about to enter my room, I saw Wolfgang leave his. Oh, Wolfgang. What a coincidence running into each other like this. Are you already on your way to the tournament, Toshiko? It's rather early. Of course not. A professional like myself knows better than to attend some silly party. Right. My apologies. What about you? Are you going to the tournament? That's correct. I'm going to the tournament. I'm just heading to the laundry room right now. There's a batch of clothes I accidentally left in there.
That's...
Wolfgang said he was going to attend the tournament?
Strange.
Yesterday, he told everyone he was too busy to attend. I assumed he changed his mind. I had no reason to question him. I heard bits and pieces of their conversation from inside my dorm. The whole thing couldn't have lasted longer than a minute.
Bit complicated.
Toshiko and I are bunk buddies, by the way. Thought I'd mention that in case Damon didn't know. Oop, let me write that down. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the raid, Everything Fantasy. Thank you so much. Welcome in, everybody. As you can see, I am just taking down some notes because we are currently doing our investigation of Chapter 1 for the Danganronpa fan game, Project Eden's Garden. That is right. That is currently what we are playing. We are currently in the investigation era. EG staff raid. Oh my god! Oh my god! Hi guys! Hi divas! Hi, divas. It's so good to see you guys. Welcome in Eden's Garden Staff Raid. I'm Diana's VA. Snowy Snowish. Ah! Diva! Now, Miss Snowy, I have to let you know, you've been eating these damn voice lines, bitch. I've been playing this damn game, and I'm just like, these voice actors are just, they're popping their pussy in this like booth.
A body has been discovered.
Thank you so much, Butterscotch Pecan and Snowy Snowish, for the follows. It's greatly appreciated. Welcome to the Queendom of Chaos. My name is Arabella the Supervillain. In case you do not know me, I am a drag streamer. And I do a variety of games, and clearly I play Project Eden's Garden and a lot of other fan projects. That's Eden's Gussie for real. Yep, there we go. That Eden's Gussie. Oh, thank you. Oh my god. No. And you're stunning? No, bitch, you're stunning. That Keanu Reeves moment at the Game Awards, you're beautiful. Oh my god. So thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate the raid. I greatly appreciate you guys coming in here. I am having a fucking blast with Chapter 1 so far, and I'm very excited to get to the trial here soon. I have to say, I had a few, what's the name? What's the word called? I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the rest. I hope so too, girl. I had some theories on who I thought was going to be the first victim. I had three like hats in the ring that I threw. I thought that the victim was either going to be Diana, Eva, or Cassidy. I don't know, there was just some vibes there that I felt. And then, spoiler alert, everybody in my chat, if you don't want to know who was the first person who was offed in Project Eden's Garden Chapter 1, mute me or leave. That's totally fine. But Wolfgang being the first to... I was gagged! I clutched my pearls. I clutched my leather choker collar. I was like, oh my god, that's insane. Completely threw me for a loop. Y'all pulled the rug from under me. The writing staff, the VA staff, y'all ate that. So thank you all so much. It was a shocker for real, like I was gagged. Okay, so at least I'm not the only one that thought that. I genuinely thought that like Wolfgang was going to be like Damon's foil in the trial. And I thought that there was going to be a rivalry between them. And to find out that he's actually the first goner is kind of insane. But I'm literally like, I'm taking notes. I'm analyzing everything that we're seeing. This is gonna sound so embarrassing. But I've actually written a 20-page Google document of like my analysis of the Eden's Garden prologue, and like I went into details, I went into like the animal motifs, I went into predictions on where I think the chips may fall, into like what kind of story arcs or narratives or themes are playing a part in these characters. Like I went in, because this cast in this game is so well made. So I'm very excited. Thank you all for the support and the love in chat. I hope y'all enjoy me playing this game, because I'm enjoying playing this game. And Chapter 2. Obviously, take your time. Take your time. Take a rest. Take a rest. But Chapter 2, I will be streaming Chapter 2 when it comes out. This right here confirmed it. This chapter, this gag, confirmed it. But I'm not going to make y'all wait any longer. We're going to go ahead and... We're gonna finish playing this chapter and get to this trial, so that I can stop voice acting and let y'all do the voice acting, and I can just sit and look pretty. That's what I'm really good at. Okay, okay, thanks. Anyways, when I heard what Wolfie said, my first thought was, leftover clothes? I don't remember any leftover clothes. Who do you feel did it? Is there anybody you don't wish to see go? Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Since you're here with me, I see you, you see me, we see each other.
See you. I see you. We good. Okay. We good. I see. We see each other. We see each other.
I'm gonna level with you. Here's who I think is going to survive the game. Like, I'm gonna lay this flat out. I think the survivors of the game, by the end of Chapter 5, Chapter 6, is going to be Damon, Eva, Mark, Winona, Toshiko, and Kai. Those are the people I think who are going to survive. Those are the people that are going to walk out of Eden's Garden alive. I'm going to call it right now. I like that lineup. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Here, look. Now, in terms of who I think is the first culprit, I have some ideas. Let me look real quick. So, if my understanding of the crime scene is correct, I believe the culprit has to be... You know, I'm gonna say possibly there was a bobby pin found in the boiler room, and not a lot of people here would use bobby pins except for the cosmetologist being Diana. So if I have to be like really real with you, I think Diana might be the culprit. But again, she's acting very suspicious right now, so that she might just be a red herring. And I might just be reading too much into her behavior right now. But the bobby pin being down there, the her acting strange and her being by herself, I don't know. She could possibly be a culprit. I don't think, since technically Wolfgang's time of death was 9:35, that was the same time as the blackout, which means I think that somebody in the gaming tournament actually is the culprit, and I think that's going to be the twist. I think that's going to be the gag of it all. And I think from the vent in the room, in the dining hall, I think from the vent, they did something to the generator, and that's how they offed Akira while he was in the boiler room locked in there. So I think somebody from the gaming tournament offed him. And if that's the case, I could see it being either Eva or Cassidy. I could see the first culprit being either Eva or Cassidy right now. Eva, Cassidy, or Diana. The people who I thought were going to be first victims are now my top culprit, like, suspects. Which is crazy. They went from me thinking they were going to be the first victim to me now thinking they're the first culprit. Crazy how life switches up on you. I figured I must have been misremembering. What with my aching head and all. Aching head? I was suffering from a terrible headache this morning. Couldn't even see those 2 steps in front of me, let alone get up from my bed. That's why I had gone to the pharmacy. I was hoping to procure some medication for Ingrid. Not my proudest moment, I'll admit, but I knew I could trust Toshiko with the job.
So...
Do you know what time the interaction with Wolfgang happened? 10 past 8, I think.
How should I put it?
The conversation happened just a little after the morning announcement. That I can tell you with confidence. Yes, 10 past would make sense. When the announcement initially played, I was just about to leave the pharmacy. Then she was already inside the pharmacy by 8. So, Wolfgang. He looked totally fine when you saw him.
Sure.
Yes, nothing seemed awry. Doesn't that call into question what Grace told me earlier? Either Grace lied to me about Wolfgang calling in sick, or she was telling the truth, and Wolfgang just got outed as a liar. I think the latter. I think Wolfgang's a liar. Girl, this mystery is good. I can probably deduce an answer if I know what time Grace left Wolfgang's dorm. If she left before 8:10, then she would have already been out of the picture by the time Wolfgang made his move. Hence why she only remembers him in bed. However, if she left after 8:10 a.m., then she would have been there for Wolfgang's encounter with Toshiko. Which means she lied about Wolfgang being bedridden during the period of time she was in his dorm. Funny how she never gave me a time. What else happened after Toshiko saw Wolfgang? That blackout sure gave us a spook. Toshiko and I decided to stay where we were until the lights turned on, though we did watch you and your buddies pass by. You saw that?
How should I put it?
Heard it first, then took a peek. I would have said something, but I still wasn't feeling my usual self, so we watched you up until you went down the stairs. That must have been how you found the crime scene, right? Yeah, that's right.
Too much for me.
Such a terrible sight. I can't believe someone here might actually be behind it. Let's just hope we can solve it. Oh no, we're done. Oh, it's over. Oh no. Alright everyone, that's time. Please drop whatever it is you're doing and proceed to the Tree of Ignorance. Don't make me wait too long, otherwise you will be in for a shocking surprise. Poo-hoo-hoo. Get it? Because your trinkets can zap you. Anyway, just gonna move on. It's time.
Fingers crossed.
You two go on ahead. Toshiko and I'll catch up.
Listen to me.
Okay, let's go, Damon. Right. Oh my gosh. Why am I so scared? Why am I sweating? Well, I'm sweating because I'm wearing a double stack wig, and leather, but why am I scared? Eva and I made the short trek to the room with the tree. Once there, we waited for the others to arrive. Oh my god. Eventually, everyone had shown up. So, how you guys feeling?
It's me.
Words wouldn't do it justice. I'm feeling pretty bad. I can't tell you how I feel when I don't even know what I feel. I'd rather we save the talking for the trial. In just a few moments' time, we were going to be down there in the trial room, fighting for survival, using only our words. Damn it, Damon, get a grip already. Before the door in the tree opens, I need to ask Desmond if he has any new information about the taser gun.
Hi.
Hey. His voice was steady, but his eyes kept darting around the room. Did you check the taser? Right, I did. Any findings? Just one. The gun's blast doors were missing. Blast what? So it was used. But he only had one puncture on his neck. Where'd the other puncture go? Usually taser guns have two. Unless that one was just one. But even then, where did the wire from the taser go if it was used? Huh. Unless it didn't. I don't know. All of a sudden, the ground. Oh no, not again. Hold on to something, everyone. Okay. The Tree of Knowledge, a symbol of sentience, intuition, and understanding, exists here only as a barren replica. The Tree of Ignorance emulates the wonder of nature, but does not achieve it, and justly so, for ignorance often aspires to be seen as wisdom. Damn it.
Shit.
Well, guess we gotta cut this conversation short. I'll explain everything during the trial. Let's not keep this goat guy waiting.
Holy!
Oh man, this is really happening. We're so screwed, we're totally gonna die.
That's how it is.
If you go in expecting to fail, chances are you will.
Game over, man! Game over!
Love that. I'm gonna think of failure even more because you said that.
Hold your horses.
Look at it this way. Who here are the cards more stacked against? 14 people working together to solve a murder, or one person trying to lead everyone else astray?
Are we ready?
If anyone's in for a struggle, it ain't the group of 14.
Do you think?
You make a good point. Statistically, the odds are in our favor here.
It'll be okay.
Exactly. Luck will be on our side again.
No, it's not.
I don't know why I said again. That word was not there. If luck was on our side, we wouldn't be in a killing game to start with. Can I say something first before we go?
Oh,
What is it? It's a message for the killer.
what did you say?
A message for the killer? The person here who killed Wolfgang. Whoever you are, can you please step forward?
I want to help.
We don't have to do this. this class trial. If you can just find it in yourself to step forward and bring this whole thing to an end already, then please. Despite Diana's pleas, no one came forward.
Come on.
If someone's determined enough to commit murder, they won't back down because of one person's pleas. Since we're on the subject, I also got a message for the killer.
Dumbass!
Don't forget that the punishment fits the crime, asshole. Enjoy that fucking death penalty. Gray spat out those words and disappeared into the opening of the tree.
Go now.
Co-signed.
Slow
Yo, broski, wait up. One by one, people began to follow suit. I guess if it's time to go. We knew where the stairs would take us and where the elevator afterwards would deliver us, but everything beyond that was shrouded in uncertainty. There was no mock trial awaiting us, no faux murder designed to waste our time with a stupid mystery. This was undoubtedly real. Come on, Damon, get a hold of yourself already. Take a deep breath. Taking a deep breath, I approached the opening in the tree and descended into the darkness. Oh, Wolfgang's not here anymore. It was the same elevator, the same slow churning of metal and echoing sounds of clunky machinery, and yet something was different. Someone was gone. Someone who I never held in high regard, but who was still a person nonetheless. A person with feelings, a person with aspirations, a person with a family. A person who I will never hear speak again. Not a single word. Am I ready for this? Was what I did during the investigation the best I could have done? Will it be enough to carry me through this trial? Will it be enough to lead me to Wolfgang's killer? I won't know until I do it, until I face this trial head on. There's no real way I can place my faith in the other people here. There's no way they'll come to the correct conclusion. Our survival depends on me. The elevator began to slow, snapping me back to reality. I adjusted my tie and stood up tall, and when movement stopped completely, the doors in front of us opened. Oh, fuck.
Rise and shine.
Somebody call an ambulance. I think I've caught a case of deja vu.
Isn't this lovely?
It feels like only yesterday we were playing detective with the corpse of a crime scene. My, how chipper so many of you used to be.
How interesting.
After all of that back and forth over a simple how done it mystery, I'm truly curious as to what today's trial will yield. Just to remind myself, our names are on the podiums, right? Eager to start, are we? Yes, to find your podium, just look for where your name is written.
Must go on.
Come on now, hop to it. I'm so excited, I can barely wait a second longer. I really don't want to do this.
Oh, crud.
We gotta do as he says, though. Otherwise, that enforcer lady might get mad. Knowing we were powerless to disobey Tozu, we began to disperse and locate our podiums.
Hey.
It's okay, everyone. If we work together, we can do this.
We can't give up.
Right, guys? If we work together, we can solve this case. So, come on, let's do this. For Wolfgang. Although her words elicited nods from the other students, the expressions on their face told a different story. It was an expression that I couldn't help but feel conflicted over, in a moment where I shouldn't have been focusing on my feelings. An expression of unmistakable fear. For days now, I've been angry over the mock trial. Angry at how much people resented me for telling the truth, how they twisted my words and assumed my intentions. I'm angry, but that didn't mean I wanted to be right. I would have been happy for reality to prove me wrong, for no one to buckle under the pressure of the killing game. But good endings like that only exist in stories. Reality was apathetic to what we wanted, and the events of today proved we were at its mercy. So I stood there at my podium, conflicted. To think this tragedy could have been avoided had people just listened to me. But who was it that encouraged everyone to turn on me? Who was it that encouraged everyone to trust each other? If Wolfgang hadn't been so naive, if he just told people to protect themselves rather than each other, then maybe he would still be here. Regardless, I can't let myself be consumed by what-ifs. Although the others may have failed by preventing Wolfgang's murder, I, at the very least, can solve it. I'll uncover this killer, let them face the consequences of their actions. I'll solve this case and survive. I would like to save the game, and I have multiple save files just in case something happens. Let's view our trinket real quick, because let's go over our truth bullets. So at the time of Wolfgang's murder, Winona and Ulysses were by the giant tree. Winona does not recall a blackout happening. The same goes for Eloise, who spent her morning in the courtyard with Desmond. Drops of blood were scattered around the boiler room door. They were also scattered in the outside hallway. The doorknob had been flipped so that the lock is now on the outside. There were burn marks all over Wolfgang's hands. The digital clock on Mark's DJ pad is frozen at 9:35 a.m. Mark believes the blackout caused some kind of internal damage to his DJ pad, and the clock is frozen on the time it last displayed before the power was lost. A tattered extension cord floating in the water. There was no internal plug, only a frayed tip lined with black substance. A collection of similar-looking extension cords were discovered in the storage closet D. These only were fully intact, and the internal plugs were particularly slim. When Kai and I were exploring storage closet C, we heard someone run past the closet. The footsteps sounded like they were moving away from the boiler room. Based on how soft the footsteps were, it can be inferred the person was not wearing shoes. The game tournament began at 9 a.m. and was attended by 8 people. Of those 8, 6 competed in the tournament. Kai, me, Jet, Cassidy, Jean, and Grace. The first match was between myself and Kai, but our game was cut short by the blackout. Half of the generator's wires were melted, and what remained intact had been completely singed. It's like a bomb went off inside the machine. Wolfgang was going to attend the tournament with Grace, but she had to cancel this morning after waking up with a sore stomach. He encouraged Grace to attend the tournament with Jean instead. A knife found floating in the water. On the blade, and in the surrounding water, was the unmistakable color of blood. While inspecting the kitchen, I discovered a knife block inside one of the cabinets. This block just so happens to be missing a large knife. The air in the boiler room smelled like an odd combination of cereal and alcohol. Jean believes the smell is a result of a chemical reaction. Chunks of an unidentified material were floating in the water near the generator. A dusty rolling pin discovered inside storage closet A. On one end is a small dent. On the other, 2 very clear handprints. The underground floor... Oh, here we go. The underground floor had 4 storage closets. During the blackout, the tournament attendees, who were searching for a backup generator, agreed to enter these closets in pairs. Eva and Grace entered storage closet A, Jet and Cassidy in B, Kai and I in C, Jean and Mark entered D. Jet and Cassidy found the backup generator inside storage B and returned power to the building. A note discovered inside Wolfgang's blazer pocket. The paper was damaged by the water, smudging most of the ink beyond readability. However, a few words can be made out at the bottom of the note. Secret, 8:15 a.m. and close the door. A taser gun can be found at the scene of the crime. A small thin piece of metal discovered near the boiler room door. Toshiko left the dorms before 8 a.m. to fetch Ingrid some medication for the pharmacy. On her way back, she briefly encountered Wolfgang in the hallway. Ingrid overheard bits and pieces of Toshiko and Wolfgang's conversation from the boiler room, or from her room. She is fairly confident in the encounter that the encounter happened around 8:10 a.m. The victim is Wolfgang Akire, and a huge discolored mark ran down the back of Wolfgang's neck. Was it the first sign of decomposition, or is there a bruise left by something? Next to the discoloration on Wolfgang's neck was a tiny red dot. Oop. Sit back up. You have to sit here with me. Let me move him. There we go. Wolfgang was a tiny red dot that next to the skin which looked inflamed. There was no scabbing, however, which suggests the dot happened recently. Alright, let's do this fucking trial, guys. We've done it once, we can do it again.
Let's get this started, shall we? Welcome back to the trial grounds, everyone. Unlike previously, today will be no circus. No mockery woven with stitches and needles. A true, fair, and proper trial will commence. A battle of wits between the blackened and the spotless. I doubt I have to explain the rules to you again. But even so, you must vote for who you believe is the blackened. If the blackened receives the majority of votes, only they will be punished, and the rest of you will resume your killing game experience. However, if you vote for the wrong person, then expect no sympathy from your hosts. All spotless students will meet a tragic end, while the blackened will be granted release from this academy. Happy discussing! We pray for your survival and success.
Can someone please break this silence?
I don't want to talk about this.
Wolfgang deserves justice. But putting everyone's lives on the line like this is just cruel.
Oh, crap. Without a lawyer, we're totally screwed.
Whenever I turn my head, I keep expecting to see him at his podium.
Oh, don't cry, Toshiko. He's in a better place now, you hear?
Whichever one of you sick bastards did this, whatever it takes, no matter if I have to kick the brains out of every single person here, I'll find you.
Do you really gotta resort to violence?
Let's just stay calm, okay? Making peace with our situation is, the first step in handling it.
How the hell can I stay calm when there's a killer on the loose? That bastard is watching us right now, fully content putting our lives on the line. Is that what you call peace? Being at the mercy of some dickhead silent observer?
Well, nobody knows for sure if the killer is even a silent observer. If anything, the killer might try to feign innocence through other means. For instance, pretending to be outspoken about the case.
What the? Are you accusing me of something?
I mean, what you did during the investigation seems really suspicious.
Get her, Eloise. Drag her, Eloise. Fucking drag her.
She stood in front of Wolfgang's dorm room and wouldn't let anyone go inside. Intentionally or not. It really hindered our investigation.
Because of Grace, almost everyone who planned to investigate Wolfgang's dorm gave up and went elsewhere. It was only after some of us started protesting that she finally relented. You know, for someone who seems so adamant about finding Wolfgang's killer, it's odd she tried to conceal potential evidence.
Drag her, bitch. Drag her.
I'm not saying Grace is definitely the killer. I just think we should be cautious of her.
And that's a smart thing to do. Bestie, I'm with you.
She has an alibi, though.
Huh?
Grace couldn't have murdered anyone, because she went to the game tournament.
Grace attended the tournament?
Does that rule her out from committing the murder?
Well, yeah. We had to be at the dining hall by 9 a.m.-ish, which was like half an hour before the murder. Nobody left the tournament after it started either. Nobody.
There weren't many of us there. Had someone disappeared, it would have been obvious.
So, Grace is off the hook? Wow. That plot thread resolved itself quicker than I was anticipating.
So Jean, Grace, and Kai attended Cassidy and Jet's game tournament. And me. And Mark.
Damon and I also attended the tournament. We can also vouch for Grace.
You guys aren't lying, are you?
We have no reason to.
What the heck? Are you seriously doubting 8 testimonies?
If the 8 of you were really together when Wolfgang was discovered, then Kai, doesn't that contradict what you said before the investigation? You told everyone you and Damon found Wolfgang first. How is that possible if you guys never left the dining hall?
Oh, that's right. Not everybody knows about the blackout.
I never said I didn't leave the dining hall.
But earlier you told us you were with the other attendees.
That's because us partygoers left the dining hall together.
Mm-hmm. When the blackout struck, the tournament folk joined arms and headed straight downstairs. I would know. I saw him.
There was a blackout?
You don't remember?
Actually, I don't recall a power outage either.
How could that be? Did an alternate timeline converge with ours?
Not the Life is Strange callback. Life is Strange double exposure. Why is it some people can recall a blackout but not others? Thinking back on the testimonies I've collected, I can probably make an educated guess. The blackout affected one building.
I got it. The reason not everyone experienced the blackout is because only the building containing our dorms was affected. If I had to guess, the courtyard and tree area are connected to separate power sources.
So the tournament attendees were affected, yet they left the dining hall?
Because we were the ones who brought it back. It didn't seem like the power was being restored anytime soon, so we took up the challenge of fixing it ourselves. And just our luck, boom! We found a spare generator lying in one of the storage
Or the
closets.
MCU, T. It very well could have been an MCU reference.
Of course, then we found Wolfgang.
She's right. The 8 of us split into 4 pairs and inspected a storage room each.
Because of the toaster trinket map, we know which ones too. Eva and Grace check storage closet A. Jet and I check storage closet B. Damon and Kai check storage closet C. And Jean and Mark check storage closet D.
Yeah, I was with Grace. She can confirm being with me too. Yeah, we were together.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry for what I said earlier.
Sorry? You're sorry for accusing me of murder. Sorry doesn't cut it, you conniving two-faced bitch! If you really want my mercy, then get on your knees and beg for it!
Whoa! Uncool, dude.
Hang on. Even if you aren't involved in Wolfgang's murder, you must know something about his last known whereabouts.
Grace, you're so annoying. Girl.
What makes you think she'd be privy to that?
Girl, pipe down. Pipe down, Grace.
You see, there's proof Grace spent last night with...
Like, why is Grace making this investigation so much harder than it needs to be?
Grace and Lawyer Man? Talk about an unexpected pairing.
When I investigated Wolfgang's room, I saw a bunch of golfing equipment inside. Also, there was a blue woman's jacket tossed over the mantle of Wolfgang's bed.
Ugh.
He's right. I also saw the equipment and the clothes.
The clothes are understandable, maybe. But why was golfing equipment in the room?
Yo, little history dude. Wolfgang must have spilled the beans with you, right?
Why would Ulysses know anything?
Common courtesy. If you're gonna have a one-night stand, you gotta let your roomie know in advance.
Common courtesy also says you should watch your mouth around children.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I'm getting this right, Ulysses is bunking with Wolfgang?
Well, we only shared a dorm for one night.
You aren't bunking with him anymore?
Let me provide some context. As you may remember, after Desmond suggested everyone bunk together, the male students were directed to the dining hall. Once there, we played rock, paper, scissors to determine who would partner with who. Jet partnered with Mark, Desmond with Jean, Damon with Kai, and I with Wolfgang. Those were the pairings at the time. However, the following day, Grace and I agreed to swap rooms.
Yeah? Why'd you do that?
For reasons.
Totally not suspicious.
It was a win-win situation. I get Grace out of my hair. She gets me out of hers.
You two were originally bunking together?
The pairings were decided via a game of tic-tac-toe. I wasn't big on my partner being chosen for me, so when the opportunity arose to change that, I took it.
Thus, I became Winona's roommate, and Grace became Wolfgang's.
Can confirm. I watched the whole thing play out.
Since the room swap happened the night after we implemented the bunk buddy system, that would mean Grace and Wolfgang have been bunking for about a day and a half. Ugh, gross.
In that case, Desmond was right about those two being together last night. Grace, did Wolfgang act strange at any point? Like, maybe he said something that stuck out to you, or... Oh, maybe he had trouble getting to sleep.
No. Nothing weird happened last night. Nothing happened last night, but... The morning of the murder, this morning, Wolfgang told me he felt sick.
Sick?
There we go.
With a stomachache. It hurt so bad he couldn't get out of bed. I was gonna cancel my plans for today, but he convinced me to attend the tournament. So, I left his room right after the morning announcement. And yes, I'm talking about the game tournament. The same one Wolfgang acted all hesitant about attending. Newsflash, I changed his mind after breakfast yesterday.
Hold on a sec. That ain't what you told me this morning.
Oh.
What did Grace tell you?
Simply put, she felt like competing. Grace knew I planned to compete as well, so she asked me to be her sparring partner, since you needed one to enter the tournament.
She withheld information.
Aye, that she did. Of course, since I now know Wolfgang's condition at the time, I can't say I blame her. If someone you cared for was in a vulnerable position, would you go around and admit that in a killing game? No. You would try to protect that person by saying nothing at all.
When you put it that way, man, sounds rough.
I think it's obtuse.
Huh?
Say we assume the best of Grace.
Mm-hmm.
She withheld information not to trick anyone, but to protect someone she cares about. What then should we make of the glaring contradiction in her testimony?
What the hell do you mean, contradiction?
If your bunking partner was too ill to make the short trek to the dining hall, how did he walk all the way to the boiler room?
Good point. If Wolfgang really were bedridden, he would have stayed in his room.
Now that you mention it, to reach the underground floor, wouldn't Wolfgang need to descend, like, 4 flights of stairs? It's nothing for a healthy person, but for a guy who's supposedly really sick...
It's not my fault it doesn't make sense. It's just what Wolfgang told me.
Yeah. Didn't we decide Grace wasn't the killer anyway?
That's not to say she doesn't know more than she's letting on.
I'm not withholding anything else. Leave me alone.
Is there more to the story than Grace is telling us? Too many people are letting their emotions cloud their judgment. I need to solve the mystery and set things straight. Oh, okay, here we go. What?
Why don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
I've got nothing else to explain. The last I saw Wolfgang, he was in our dorm room.
Okay, hear me out. Secret hallways.
We would have found those by now.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
That, or Wolfgang never told Grace he was sick.
I wouldn't lie about what he said.
What if Wolfgang used the elevator in the tree?
You're not helping.
There's a major discrepancy in Grace's testimony, but is she necessarily at fault for that?
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by...
No, that's wrong!
Okay. Jesus, that took an embarrassingly long amount of... That took an embarrassing amount of time.
It's true Grace's testimony is inconsistent with where we found Wolfgang's body. But that's not Grace's fault. The only person we should be blaming is Wolfgang himself.
What the heck? Why are you blaming him?
Simple. Because he lied about being sick.
Seriously?
You can cooperate. Can't you, Toshiko? During the investigation, you told me you saw Wolfgang in the hallways at 8:10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
That's after I left.
Yes. I remember now. Ingrid. She had developed a headache, so I went to the pharmacy to find some medication. The trip itself went fine, but when I returned to the hallway, I found myself face to face with
Wolfgang?
Hold the phone! Toshiko actually saw Wolfgang?
We had a normal, pleasant exchange. He appeared perfectly healthy and even mentioned going to the tournament. Of course, he never made it.
I don't want to be that guy, but can anyone confirm this?
Mm-hmm. I heard them chatting a while in my room. Though I was bedridden like a sitting ghost, I could still make out their voices here and there.
Strange. He told Grace he wouldn't attend the tournament, but then said the opposite to Toshiko.
Sounds like he was telling fibs to conceal his actual intentions.
And what's his true plan supposed to be?
To go to the boiler room. Most likely.
I'm lost. What business would a guy like him have down there?
Why did Wolfgang go to the boiler room? That I can also answer. Oh, because of the...
This is it.
The note.
During the investigation, I found this note tucked away inside Wolfgang's blazer pocket.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is water damaged. The paper looks like it was ripped from a notebook, and the handwriting was done in ink. But some parts are still legible.
This mentions the boiler room.
Exactly. The fact we found Wolfgang in the boiler room, and this note in his pocket. It can't be a coincidence. This note must be the reason Wolfgang went there.
That mention of a secret sure is suspicious. I'm willing to bet Wolfie's reason had something to do with it.
Agreeing to meet a stranger in some spooky, dark place? Wolfgang had nerves of steel.
Ulysses, Grace, do you remember Wolfgang getting delivered a weird note?
No. The only time I recall him receiving anything was when Tozu distributed those envelopes.
I don't know anything about a note. Really? Wolfgang shared nothing with you guys?
Guess he didn't want them to know what it said.
Right. And if Wolfgang wanted to keep this note a secret, he would obviously want to keep the meeting a secret too.
Then the reason he told Grace he felt sick
was to remove her from the picture. Yeah. Once she's not in the room, Wolfgang has his opportunity to sneak out and head downstairs. That's also why he encouraged her to attend the tournament.
Didn't this same guy ask us to share our blackmail with each other? Talk about double standards.
Are we sure he wasn't just trying to protect Grace? Maybe he knew he was meeting someone dangerous, so he thought it would be safer not to involve her.
That does sound like something Wolfgang would do.
Not to interrupt, but on the subject of blackmail, did Wolfgang ever confront the person he had?
Oh? You don't know whose blackmail he got?
Well, if you recall what Wolfgang said originally. Regardless of the blackmail's contents, it would be treated as a matter between the recipient and the subject of the blackmail, and no one else. Which makes me wonder, could whether or not Wolfgang confronted his person clue us into what had originally been written on that note?
I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
If that person somehow realized Wolfgang carried their blackmail, but never came forward about it, they could have demanded Wolfgang show it to them. Hence the mention of a secret. However, if Wolfgang did confront his person, I don't see why that same person would then send him a threatening note. Not least act coy about information they both know.
If the person being blackmailed wasn't the one who wrote the note, who was?
Obviously, it would be the student with Wolfgang's blackmail.
Oh, I knew that.
Yes, the secret in question may actually be a reference to Wolfgang's blackmail, not the sender's.
Is there any way to figure out whose secret it is?
We'd probably need to know whose blackmail Wolfgang had first.
Oh, I've got just the idea. Yo! Person who Wolfgang had blackmail on! If he gave you your blackmail back, can you say something?
Don't forget the person with Wolfgang's blackmail.
Oh, right. Hey! Person who's got Wolfgang's blackmail! If you're innocent, say something already!
If I'm innocent, I should say something. Would telling everyone I have Wolfgang's blackmail really guarantee my innocence in their eyes? I don't know. Although everyone may follow my direction during the trial, since they can't ignore the evidence on my side, when it comes to me, of all people, owning Wolfgang's blackmail, how do I know they won't suddenly change their tune? They might chastise me for not revealing his blackmail sooner, or maybe they'll think I'm confessing and accuse me of murdering him. It's not like I wouldn't be able to refute their arguments, but do I really want to subject myself to all that? Does the trajectory of this trial really depend on whether or not I
was hesitant to admit it, since I knew it would put me on the spot. But I'd rather be suspected than be the reason this trial comes to a standstill.
Are you confessing? Do you have Wolfgang's blackmail?
Nah, not his.
Seriously? Way to be anticlimactic.
However, it's thanks to him that I have my own.
Your...
Wolfgang approached me the same day everyone received an envelope. Funnily enough, it happened right after I'd finished speaking with my own person. He and we had a good talk. He gave me his envelope and asked me to take care of it. If you need the proof.
Ah, Wolfgang's envelope had the same signature.
Aye, I held on to the letter for safekeeping. This should have all been said sooner. I realized that. I suppose my pride was stronger than my rectitude. My mistake for stringing everyone along.
I mean, at least you're honest.
Truth! Thanks for letting us know, bud.
Indeed. To recognize... to acknowledge one's own misdoings is a most virtuous feat, I believe.
Right. It's very noble.
I take it our other blackmail person isn't gonna step forward?
If nothing happens, let's just have everyone recite whose blackmail they got one by one.
Huh? You sure that's...
No one's reciting shit!
It was only a suggestion. Calm your farm.
Even if we knew who had Wolfgang's blackmail, that doesn't necessarily mean they're his killer. It's annoying they won't speak up, sure. But unlike John, they would actually need to reveal Wolfgang's blackmail to prove they have it. This person might just want to respect Wolfgang's request to keep the blackmail between two people. Especially now that he's gone.
I don't know. Is it really okay if we never find out?
Circumstantial evidence alone can't prove something beyond a reasonable doubt. If we want to solve this case, we need indisputable evidence.
Yeah. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle without the box art to help you.
The cases, or...
Obviously, the case. The more pieces you connect, the clearer the image you're constructing becomes. The clearer the image, the more you can assume about it. Do you see what I'm saying? Once we know how Wolfgang died, the rest of this case should fall into place.